Hi everyone, Nathan here from Mike Lancer Games. This evening I'm going to be painting some more Kreig and try and get these guys finished to a very basic standard for our demo games. Good evening everybody in chat. I can see Wiki D and Tony and Moxie. Hi, how are you doing everybody? Cooey! How is everybody this fine day? We in the MLG household have had a day off today, and we've been chilling out, having some super fun. Had a lie-in, and then went and did some crabbing on the harbour.
It says hydrate.
Okay, hydrate. This evening I will mostly be hydrating with Old Speckled. Oh, there we go. Super nice and chilled. Beautiful. Yeah, and did some crabbing on the harbour with Little Miss. And how many crabs did you catch, Little Miss?
14 or 15.
Yeah, no, I think it was more than that. About 20. Caught about 20 crabs. And obviously we threw them all back. We probably caught the same one more than once.
Yeah,
Yeah.
obviously.
Wicked D has redeemed Padme. What should we go for?
Did you have your drink?
I did.
Yeah.
Here we go.
I had hydrate as well.
Awesome. So yeah, caught some crabs, caught a shrimp.
We could have done with Wicked D redeeming Hacked Me while you were on the harbour because you've got a very red head now, haven't you? Because you're a silly sausage.
Yeah, well, when we left the house, it was not that sunny.
No, we did look a bit ridiculous, more ridiculous than I normally look. So I had my Beetlejuice shirt on and a black skeleton jumper and a hoodie, and when we got onto the harbour everybody else had bikinis on and was swimming in the sea because it was a lot warmer there than when we set off. Tony says, doing good here, a little bit of neck pain as I've been measuring and chopping and chamfering 0.5mm balsa wood strips to clad my New England mansion.
That sounds cool.
That was a lot of words.
It was a lot of words. A lot of words for little old me to read out.
Also, confuse me.
Moxie's had the best day ever. Moxie says, had a brilliant day painting minis with the kids. That's the best thing. Family time
Awesome.
and hobbying. Can't beat that.
Awesome. Yeah, we crabbing, and then we came home for a cup of tea and a sandwich, and then we went to P-Zone Park. And unfortunately, we made it there just too late, and the dragon boats were closed.
Tony says, hello little miss.
So we had a nice walk around instead, and saw loads of squirrels, and then we came home.
You saw loads of wildlife,
Yeah.
not just
Well, yeah, there was loads of stuff, wasn't there?
rats.
There was a rat. But there was loads of squirrels. You saw a squirrel inside one of the little stone things eating some fruit, didn't you?
Yeah, and then I later on, when I saw another one, I tried to give it a leaf and it came like it was 1 centimetre. Before it could bite my finger off, I dropped the leaf.
Yeah.
It didn't bite my finger off.
Yeah, I don't know if you could hear Little Miss there, but she was trying to offer a squirrel a leaf, and it came right up like it was going to take it out of her hand, and then she dropped it and it ran away.
Yeah, because they're used to people feeding them nuts, but we didn't have anything, so
Nope.
leaf was all it was getting.
Yeah.
So what are you doing over there then, mister?
So I am just blocking in, because normally I undercoat all of my minis black, but I decided that I was going to do these guys a little bit lighter undercoat because I had some necrotic flesh spray handy. So I'm just blocking in what are the boots, which are going to remain black, in black, and all the bits that are going to be metal are also getting black, because when I painted the flamer guy, I didn't undercoat the metal bits black, and it took 2 coats to cover. So I'm just going to do the black while I'm doing the boots, get these bits undercoated, and then it should only take 1 coat of metal to make it look something like. You'll see.
Tony says, don't mention squirrels or birdies to my dog. She turns from fat slob to Alsatian in milliseconds. Yes, we used to have a greyhound, and he used to stalk things, get down on his belly and proper stalk stuff. And then you'd be like, you can carry on, I've got all your lead, you're not getting it.
I think he thought he was a cat, didn't he?
Yeah. Had lots of issues, lots of personality issues. Thinking he was a cat was one of them.
When he was a puppy, we got him as a rescue, and when he was a puppy, he used to like eating snails and slugs out the back garden. And when we asked the vets why he was doing it, because we couldn't really like get to him in time sometimes, and they said that it was because probably when he was abandoned, that he'd got used to eating them to get his vitamins up or something. But yeah, but the worst thing he ever ate was a frog, and I just couldn't get to him in time before its legs sucked down like a piece of spaghetti. But he was protecting you, wasn't he, my darling?
Yeah, from the evil.
Because Mrs. MLG really doesn't like froggies, so he must have known.
Don't you? All of a sudden.
What? I have never liked frogs.
Yeah. So what colours are you using? What you up to?
So I am currently using some Reaper Pure Black, and just so I'm diluting it with tiny little brush loads of water, just to thin it ever so slightly. Just while I paint these details on here. So this guy is the sniper with a slightly longer barreled las gun with the scope on, and not being overly careful, just trying to make sure I don't blob all over his hands. Because I'm going to put, once I've got the metal colour on, then it will get a Nuln Oil wash over the top of that, so I don't have to worry too much about missing the odd tiny little bit. But I want it to look something like so. There we go. So there. Earlier on, while I was cooking tea, watched a little bit of Better Call Saul. I'm on episode 2. Mrs. MLG and I watched episode 1 the other day, and you didn't really like it, dear. So
I'm making you watch it on your own.
So it's a watch it while I'm cooking tea situation for Better Call Saul. But I've heard very good things about it. But it's not really your scene, is it?
No.
So there we are. You didn't like Breaking Bad either. It's not rubbish, it's just not Sword Art Online or whatever it is. But then I don't like that, so that's fine. I've never been into anime stuff. I
get to watch stuff now because when the shop was shut and you were at home when you were working, and now the gaming floor is open on a Thursday and a Friday late nights, that means you're not here, so I get to watch all my programmes without you going, ugh, what's this rubbish? Until you turn up like I'm still watching it, and you're like, what's happening, what's this? I'm like, I'm going to tell you 3 seasons worth of things because you just walked in.
Yeah.
Tony says, I liked Breaking Bad. Have you seen El Camino?
Oh yes. Yeah, and I did. Yeah, I watched El Camino. I quite enjoyed it. Yeah, I thought it was good. I was kind of hoping. I've heard that there's going to be some kind of other follow-on that includes Bryan Cranston in some way, or a bit more like prequel or something of the thing, and I really enjoyed that El Camino. I thought it was great. I thought Breaking Bad was awesome. You just didn't like it, did you? But
It's okay.
I think
I
that
have to like it.
no, I know. I think the storyline and the cinematography is excellent, and that's, I think, what's supposed to make Better Call Saul really good as well. That sometimes, like, the episodes maybe don't have a massive amount of storyline in, but they're just really well shot, and are really poignant, I guess is the correct thing. But anyway,
What are you painting?
so still painting black on these guys.
Is it going on alright?
Yeah, it's going on really well. Really well. So
What black is it?
this is Reaper Pure Black 9037.
I'm not using that.
Pardon?
Why are you using that black and not like Templar or?
Oh,
whatever?
because I really like the Reaper paints, because they are nice and smooth and cover well, even when thinned, and it was conveniently on my desk already.
It's a Games Workshop figure, so I wondered why you weren't using Games Workshop paints. Does it not matter?
No, it doesn't matter. No, you use whatever paints you like for painting your Games Workshop figures. I do have some Abaddon black just over there, but this was within closer reach. The Abaddon black that I use most regularly is the Air variant, and I use it for brush painting because it is already thinner, and obviously don't have to water it down, so it works really well. But it's over there behind another row of paint, and this one was closer. So either of these two are good enough for me. Breaking Bad is really good, but it's very dark and bleak, so I can understand why people wouldn't like it, says Tony. Yes, I agree. It's I kind of wish that they would fill some of the gaps in a little bit, because it's quite easy to miss some of the context of like the actions of the characters. So maybe if you saw it from another character's perspective, and say they were watching TV and there was like some news reports or whatever that were detailed a little bit more of the storyline, would be cool. I remember when The Walking Dead started, there was loads of fan theories around the blue meth being part of the cause of the zombie apocalypse. Yeah, and that there's an Easter egg, as they like to call them, in one of the episodes where there's a bag full of the blue meth in the passenger seat of a car, I believe. It's in this TV program Breaking Bad, little one. They make drugs, and it's blue.
Yeah, it's poopy. It's in a TV programme, my darling. Moxie says, my boy was painting today with his Reaper paint set, and I really like how it covers. Will invest in some myself. Yes, I use Reaper paints more than anything else. I do have a few Army Painter and a few Vallejo, but I do seem to use Reaper most. I like they're nice and smooth, and I do like how they go on. What's your favourite?
I've not really got a favourite, if I'm honest. without trying to sound like I'm too picky about different things. I really like some of the Reaper paints, but I also really like some of the Army Painter paints, and I really like the Green Stuff World paints. So one of the reasons that I really like this pure black is, if I just grab this guy and I will show you a little bit closer to the camera. Obviously I've missed a couple of splodges there, as I said, wasn't too worried about missing a couple of splodges, but if you can see on, I'm holding him up there, sorry. Okay, so the reason that I really like this pure black is that when it dries, it is really matte, and that's really hard to get with some of the other paints. So Abaddon Black and Chaos Black Spray from Citadel, and even the Army Painter Matte Black, I find dries a little satin rather than being a matte finish, and this is a properly matte finish, and I like that because it's much more satisfying to my eye, and also I think it covers better. Unless you're painting metallics a lot, like the colour shift paints, if you're painting the colour shifts over the top, like these guys, this one here, which is Burning Gold from Green Stuff World, if you're painting that on, you really need to get that over a good gloss, but otherwise I like a nice matte black. So another reason why I picked this up instead of the Abaddon Black that's over there, just over, right, on the edge of the rack. It's because I like the.
Because it likes the matte. But it is always a very good idea to have lots of different paints in your choice of paints. So rather than just sticking to one paint range, find paint that you like, and some colours are better than others in certain ranges. So just have a whole mix, and then you've got loads of choice. Like for example, I'm using Army Painter Gunmetal from the Metallics range, but then I'm also using Reaper paint at the same time for other bits. And I do like the Army Painter Rough Iron. That's a cool colour. I like that. Like a shiny, don't know. I can't even know how to describe it. Like a shiny, really dark copper. It's cool. I like that one.
Just blobbed.
Well,
just blobbed.
You like blobbing? I think that's like, you know.
It's frustrating when I do, because I don't like being clumsy, and now it means I'm going to have to go back over and touch that bit up. Yeah, the rough iron is a bit like the old Citadel tin bits, which I don't know if they've got a current comparison for, but they used to have a colour called tin bits that was a colour that you used for a lot of orc parts, worky gubbins and such. I've realised that I've missed a huge chunk on the inside of this chap's arm.
Tony says, I'm watching The Walking Dead to the end out of grim determination. I understand the disjointed thing in season 10 as COVID was a bit of a problem. You've stopped watching it, haven't you?
Yeah, I gave up on it.
Abandoned it.
Yeah, I gave.
You're still hurt from Lost.
Yeah. No, I never watched all the Lost. I didn't see how badly that finished. I gave up on The Walking Dead. I can't remember which series it was. But there's an episode where one of the characters, without any real spoilers, there's an episode where one of the characters who has lost an eye and has an eye bandage over his eye aims with his rifle with his bandaged eye and shoots somebody. And I just thought, well, I know it's a fantasy program, but you know, you've got to get some got to get some kind of like accuracy. That was the final straw, I guess.
I think I lasted one episode and went, nope, this isn't for me.
Yeah. Yeah, it was. See, I've never read the comics, so I don't really know what they are like. And I know a lot of my friends rave about the comics and the graphic novels, which I guess are just compilations of the individual comic episodes. But I've never read any of those. Just thought I'd stick, because quite often if I pick up something like I did with Game of Thrones, so I watched the first series of Game of Thrones, and then because I didn't want to have to wait for the next one, I started reading the books. And then when you read the books and you realise how much the series is divergent from the written story, and then you're just disappointed. Plus you know what's coming, or you kind of have an idea of what's coming. So I thought with The Walking Dead I won't. I'll just stick to watching the programme. What's the river, Tony? Yeah, sorry.
So what else? How many of these things have we got to do?
So So I've got 10 of these guys to do, and then once I've finished on these guys, we're going to make a start on the orcs. And I haven't even stuck those together yet, they're still all on the sprue. And Mrs. MLG is working her way through a little bit more orc terrain.
He's grumpily doing some more terrain.
Yeah, so are you going to paint it all?
No. No, you're not. No. Don't like painting terrain.
Yeah, so I will get some more, because we haven't got a lot of lead belchery type colour spray, so I'll make sure I bring some more spray home. We'll get them all blasted over with some metal colour, the rest of the terrain, and we'll get that painted up over the weekend. Shouldn't take too long, I guess. And then next week we can make a start on getting the orcs done, ready for next weekend for Kill Team Day.
Asmo says, 97% of my paints are Reaper. Note that they have two lines, the MSP and the Bones. The Bones line has a higher pigment count, while the MSP functions onto triads. Many colours have a shade, mid-tone and highlight colour in the MSP line, though not all. Yep, that's right. I do like them a lot, but when I just had the MSP and was starting out, it was really frustrating on a non-primed Bones mini to get any kind of coverage. Oh, I never prime my Burns. But for skin tones, the MSP is pretty good. Yeah, this is MSP Burns. What else have I got? Oh, I've got, yeah, and this is MSP. I think mainly got MSP, haven't I? Yeah, they're MSP. Yeah, I mainly use the MSP ones, and I never prime mine. Because I'm a rebel.
No, but I just saw there that you are using MSP HD.
Where? I didn't say HD on it. That one is. That one is. That one isn't. That one isn't.
No.
That one's Burns. I've got all sorts. All sorts. I just have colours that I like. Just have colours that I like.
So we're still using some of the older HD paint.
Yeah, we've got some stuff like that just kicking around.
Because which has now been folded into the Bones range. On the most of it anyway, it's been folded into the Bones range. They've reissued new paint codes for them, I believe, for most of them. So saffron yellow is pale saffron. Sorry, pale saffron is Mrs. MLG's go-to yellow.
And I'm using it right now. Yeah.
Yeah. And I've been using a lot of Tusk Ivory recently, which with the yellow label. That's one of the HD paints. And we've got all sorts, haven't we? All sorts. And so when we started, we knew that Reaper were going to discontinue that range, the HD range. We kind of stocked up, didn't we? Got in touch with the Reaper here in the UK and bought pretty much everything they had left. And then we made sure that we had a good selection of paints at home, and then we sold the rest in the shop.
Yeah, you see, but the reason that I said, oh, is it when he said, oh, that's a HD one, Asmo, because Asmo's put yellow label equals HD line, is because Pale Saffron has got a white label, but it is HD paint. But I suppose they didn't put a yellow one on because it might blend in. So that's why I didn't realise. 9142 to 9144, Asmo says, is a great triad for skeletons and other detailed bony monsters. They do, I mean, Reaper do awesome paints, awesome triads, awesome paints. I really like them.
The triads are great. If you want to pick up like 3 great colours for a specific thing like bone in one go, then the triads are awesome. There's a vampiric skin one as well. If you're going to be painting more undead, I think there is actually an undead flesh tones for like zombies and stuff as well. Although some of the ones that I really wanted before they disappeared were like I think bloodthirsty reds was the name of one of them. And unfortunately, they are some of the colours that they've done away with. I believe it's something to do with the pigments that they couldn't get hold of the raw materials, so they've redone some of the colours and they've slightly changed them. So there's a few that we haven't got that we wanted. But I've heard from Reaper today, and hopefully our ReaperCon selections will be with us by the end of the week.
What's that then?
So they are the ReaperCon swag boxes that they advertised on their website. So they are compilations of minis and various other goodies that they are releasing in time for people to participate in ReaperCon classes and other things. So there's like paint palettes, there's accessories, paint palettes, and I think one of them's got a brush holder in and some other bits and pieces, and then there's a whole variety of different minis in there as well that are like limited edition or whatever while these boxes are available.
And what does that mean for us then?
So that means that we're going to get a selection of these figures and all these wonderful accessories, and then we're going to keep some for ourselves, and then we're going to sell the rest to you as individual items out of the thing.
Ah, something else to be added.
Yeah.
Let's see.
Yeah. Something else to add to the list. Tony says,
About what the
prolific TV explorer mysteriously goes missing on a trek up the Amazon, and a group, including his daughter, follow his trail to try and find him. They follow his trail to unexplored areas, and all sorts of supernatural spirits and other things reveal themselves and make the hunt rather dangerous to go further in or leave. And where might I find this series? Well, yeah. So, does it finish if they've canned it after one series? Does series 1 finish on a suitable ending? Oh, a rinse cup. That is what you're using.
Ah,
So-
why do you hate them? That's what I'm using. Because you've got the Games Workshop one.
Yes.
This water pot thing I'm using in.
Yeah. So, and the pink one that you've got in the cupboard.
Yeah, and yours.
Yeah. Well, you wouldn't have to use it for washing your brush out. Yeah, you could use it as a tumbler in the kitchen for juice.
Juice? Sadly, season 1 ends on a cliffhanger.
Oh.
That's rubbish when that happens.
What's it cliffhanger?
where it ends and you've got to wait for the next season, but then they have not made any more, so you're never going to know what happened because it's finished.
It depends whether there's enough fan interest like Firefly and then they make a movie. To culminate the story.
I used to watch The Almighty Johnsons, and that ended, and they weren't going to make any more. And then the fans all complained, so they made one last few 6 episodes or whatever just to wrap the story up and finish it off. And that was good then, because it was a good show. Not your kind of show, but it was a good show.
Which one was that? Was that where there were all the gods?
They were all the gods, yeah. They lived on Earth. Asma says, they're fugly. I just upgraded to a glass. I had about 6 of them and they're just recycled. Yeah, well, they're not the most attractive looking things, I suppose, but it works.
I do like the Citadel water pot. They are very sturdy and not easy to knock over because of their shape.
You have to show it where the paper stays on and it's got all the ridges and the things to go inside.
Yeah, I will. I'll just finish this guy and I will show it. Yeah, it's a really well designed product. Let me show it here. I'll just finish the black on this chap. If you're ever looking for like a stocking filler type gift for a painter or whatever, then one of these is a really good idea. So it looks like this. So this one's obviously had a fair bit of use, but it's a round pot. It's got a flared bottom, as you can see here, without me tipping the water all over. So it's flared around the bottom, so it's quite sturdy. You can't really can't knock it over. Okay, it's got ridges inside for you to rub your brush up and down, and then it's got like ridges in the bottom as well. So as you're swishing your paintbrush around in the bottom, it's agitating the bristles. Okay, and then up the back side there, you've got these 5 lines, and the idea of those is that as you take your brush out of the water, you run it up there, and then it makes it into a nice point for you as you run it out the top. And you can rest your paintbrush in this handy little recess at the front. It's a fantastic invention. Oh. Oh. No, is Pete still here?
Oh, he was earlier.
I'm going to have to have a free hydrate.
He was earlier, wasn't he? Maybe he's too busy to type.
Yeah. Deadwood, Carnival, and Firefly, all excellent TV shows, Tony. They should have kept all of those going in my mind.
Pete says you've got time. Oh dear.
Yeah, I don't know how much.
Lurking.
Yeah, I don't know how much these water pots are in the States. I realise like you can manage with many other receptacles as a water pot, but just handy little design thoughts have gone into them. That's the good thing. But they're in the UK. I think they are about £6. Oh, there you go. £5.50 at Mighty Lance again.
£6 for normal.
Yeah, £6 is GW's RRP. So I don't know, maybe about $10, $10 bucks in the US.
Dollar bucks.
Dollar bucks, yeah.
That's
Bluey.
That's off Bluey. Dollar bucks. That's off Bluey. Now you're showing that you watch kids' TV.
Yeah, there's nothing wrong with watching kids' TV. We have a kid.
And Moxie says he didn't realise it rested your brush on it. You've got one, Moxie.
Yeah.
See, helpful, informative stream tonight.
Yeah,
Pete
yeah.
says
I'll be honest, I never rest my brush on it. And that's right, Asmo, the Citadel Cup won't easily be mistaken for a drinking vessel either.
That's true. Pete says he is here. Yeah, he's just got the wheel of death on his internet signal. We were just missing you, Pete. See, that's what it was. Just missing you. So go on then, what are you doing?
Well, I'm still just doing black. Still just doing black. I've got one more guy to go after this, and then we're going to move on to metal.
Wicked D says, the pot looks better than my Bisto jar.
Well, in the past we've used glasses and all sorts of other stuff, but the Citadel tub is the best. I've not managed to knock it over yet. They did it around the same kind of time. They brought a couple of other products out as well.
Yeah, painting handles.
Yeah, painting handles. These painting handles, the Mark II painting handle.
This is our old one. This is what we
Oh
used
yeah,
to
that's
use.
that used to be our.
This is what we used to use. It stays in the cupboard, the glass cupboard, but thankfully we don't drink out of it.
Yeah.
And then Mr. asked for the Citadel water pot for his birthday, and seeing as we always treat him really well, that's what he got. Tony says, can I give him a shout when the tentacle beastie Shagoth hits the which one's that one?
That's the one out of the Chronoscope expansion that we showed off.
Oh, so you'll have to leave it for me because I've got that other list for...
Okay.
Yeah, I've not added any today, Tony, because we've had a family day.
Yeah.
It's a bit of a
Back to work tomorrow.
slow adding stop currently because of the school holidays, so I've always got a helpful little person next to me. Yeah, who always wants attention. Oh, I don't know how to look up Bisto. Were you happy? Were you happy with what you found? I hope you found the right Bisto and it doesn't mean something else somewhere else. You'll have to get a water pot for Christmas, Wicked Day. And a case for your mounting paint supply.
Yeah.
Asmo says, no, this is a trick question. Be careful when you answer this one. Always answer truthfully, of course, but Asmo says, do you have a separate water pot for metallics versus non-metallics? Now, we all know what the answer is, don't we? We've all seen how lazy we are. we all know the answer.
No. Well, I should have.
Yeah,
I should have.
We know you should have.
I should have, but no, I don't. But like I'm going to do with this guy, I try and limit metallics to be kind of like the last thing I'm going to work on in a session, which doesn't always work out, obviously. But so with this chap and all of these guys, so I'm going to paint all the standard colours and then we'll do the metallics last. So I'm going to do this black, then I'll do the couple of touch-ups with the blue, and then we'll do the metal colours before we apply washes after the metals. But that'll probably we'll probably run out of time before washes, I think, based on the fact that it's already 22. Yeah, we haven't got quite as many of those ones, Tony. I don't know why. I don't know what the reason was, but we haven't got as many boxes of the Chronoscope as we have the others.
I think money was the reason, wasn't it?
Mm.
You got ever so slightly carried away and had to restrain yourself.
Maybe.
Moxie says... Asmo says only recently graduated, 2 of them. Yeah, we'll never lie. We know you're supposed to and changing paint water more often and stuff, but yeah, we don't. Moxie says, I forgot to ask, what is that glue you use that had the brush? It's your Humbrol, isn't it?
Yes. Funnily enough, I've just ordered some more of this because I didn't realise that we had run out. So, Humbrol liquid poly cement, which is it's about £4.
I don't know if you won't guess. Yeah, it's $3.99.
There you go, $3.99 for one of these, and it will. Yes, but we've ordered some more. So by the end of the week, we should have some more of this in stock. It's 28 millilitres, and it comes with a very handy brush and a safety top. So you have to press down like a bottle of tablets or whatever, and you get a little brush inside. and it works really, really well so long as you don't knock it over like I have done in the past, and it will last you for ages. One of those.
What glue is that for though? 'Cause it's only for certain
Yeah,
things,
so that is
isn't it?
only for hard plastic stuff like.
So not Reaper.
No, yeah, you wouldn't be able to use it on Reaper. It wouldn't stick your figures, but you can use it on such as the Fireforge minis or Citadel or won't work on Mantic. Mantic, you need super glue for theirs because they look similar, but they are more of a resin-based plastic. But Airfix model kit type stuff or any of those really. Any of those. Polystyrene derived plastics.
Pete says, I've just realised it's Thursday tomorrow.
That is correct.
I don't know why I thought it was Tuesday. It's alright, we went crabbing on the harbour today with the whole family, us three and my mum and dad. And my dad thought it was Sunday. So we're like, no, it's Wednesday. So he's gained extra days that he didn't realise.
Yeah, well, when you're retired, I guess it must be easy to lose track of the days.
It's because we were all there and we're normally at work and this one's normally at school. So I know, but that's why it's hard to keep.
Tony says he's got to go. Thank you, Tony, for coming. We'll see you later, hopefully. Keep up the awesome work. Awesome. And yes, it would be perfect for your Templars, Moxie. Just the job. The great thing I like about it as well is because you're putting it on with a brush, you don't have to use loads, and you can get it just where you want it. Whereas, like some of the glues where you're squeezing it out of a tube or whatever, it's very easy to get a lot of glue where you don't want it. Yeah, kind of like paint, like I've just blobbed all over this guy's jacket. Yep. Right then, so nearly finished on the black on here. Quick touch up on the blue, and I need to do these cloth bits around the top of the backpacks as well. Did I see a comment from Wicked D that said, like, don't worry about time, just carry on?
Probably.
Yeah, I know we need to finish on time tonight. We've got some jobs to do, I'm afraid.
You've got to hydrate.
Hydrate.
Really, you're gonna have to stream until you do something cool, because all you've done is paint black.
Right, so black, done black.
Yeah, black. That's what I've just said.
No, but I squeezed all this extra black out all over the thing. What am I going to paint? What am I going to do with all this extra black paint?
I don't know. Is that a bit
Let's just use it on their bases, I think.
It's supposed to be.
What bit?
It just looks weird.
Let's have a look.
Doesn't it? Get it over.
No.
Show what you've given me. Look all the things he gives me.
So, gave Mrs. MLG this to paint, and I didn't realise that I haven't cut this section out in the middle here.
I was like, what am I going to paint that? What is it even supposed to be?
Yeah.
It's just a bit of flashing that's not supposed to be there.
Haven't cut that out. So let's get the clippers and chop it out.
I want to see it.
So, sorry everybody. Little Miss wants to view.
That thing there. It doesn't look like a piece of the wood. Just to your little eyes, does it?
Well, maybe it is supposed to be there. It's quite strong.
it's coming out now.
Yeah, it's coming out now. There we go.
Oh dear.
I've got to get those bits of flash and mould line out of there. Haven't we? So you might have to touch these
I will do.
bits up with some metal.
I will do.
There you go, darling.
Oh, thanks. You're so kind.
I'm glad you noticed.
Well, I just didn't know what colour to paint. I didn't know what it was.
There you go. Just goes to show that we're not perfect.
I think everybody already knew that one. Especially if you look at the TikToks. It's like, wow.
One of your TikToks has had like 30-odd thousand views.
Yeah, I don't know why.
Wasn't it? Your
None of the rest have.
your
It's just that
one of your basing videos that you've done. That's an immense achievement. None of mine have had 30-odd thousand views. Have they?
No, darling.
Mrs. MLG, pro TikToker.
Oh, God.
Superstar. You'll be getting invited on TV programs next.
I don't think that 30,000 views really counts as pro TikToker.
What do you reckon, little miss? Yeah? Are you siding with your mum? I don't know.
I told you before, I don't really care about the views. It's like you can have 1 million views, but if no one likes it or interacts with it, that all that means is that they've looked at it, thought it was rubbish, and scrolled on past. It's like a bit pointless, really.
Yep. Right. Let's get this paint used up on these guys, and then we'll get on to something a bit more exciting, maybe.
What other metal colours have we got?
We've got loads of metal colours down there. You're next to the drawer that's got them all in.
Yeah, but there isn't any. I mean, like silvery metal colours. I've got gunmetal. That's
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
And I've got bright, shiny silver. And that's it.
oh, what do you want? There's copper in there, isn't there?
No, that's not silver, is it, Smeghead?
Smeghead.
Do you think?
See how I'm treated, everybody. Just like,
Do you want me to put copper on it?
just giving you an option.
What about iron? I
What?
suppose it should be iron then, shouldn't it?
Oh, yeah, it was-
What colour's iron?
oh, it's like dark, like your rough iron. Do you want bronze? Do you want my pewter colour?
You know what I really want?
What?
Do you know what I really want?
What do you
Not
want?
to be
What you
painted-
really, really want?
Not to be painting this stupid terrain.
You volunteered.
Yeah. Buyer's remorse.
Mm.
Go on then,
You
talk
could-
to us about...
You could have painted a bugbear.
Yeah, but then you're just going to attack me with it. I'm Pathfinder. Wiki D says...
we're the ones need to make.
Wiki D says, my husband gets called worse than the Smeghead. You should be happy that's what you get called. That's all he ever gets called. Smeghead and Git.
Yeah.
That's it. And in loving tones. I mean, you've heard me have a go at him. We're no different off camera than we are on camera. Maybe why we don't get any viewers.
Yeah. Please help me. Right then, let's sort this blue out. Since I've blobbed over it with loads of different things. I was cutting horses off sprues last night, says Moxie, and unfortunately I was cutting off parts that weren't needed to be removed. Now one, now one of the horses has only 3 hooves.
Yoo-hoo! It's
So-
obviously been like really fighting in the war really hard.
Yeah, what I would suggest there, Moxie, if you haven't already decided what you're going to do, is possibly
Find it.
model it as if it's running through some long grass,
And then you won't be able to see.
and then you wouldn't be able to see it on the thing. So it
You
would.
just glue it back on. Or will it
Well,
get
you
too
could
fiddly?
glue it back on if you had the part. It's whether you've still got the bit.
Yeah, but it's the point.
Yeah, that is the point, isn't it? Yeah. Asma says that's what green stuff is for.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, but I think Moxie, and I'm sure Moxie won't mind me saying this, but tell me if he does. I think Moxie's a bit like me there. Like, you know, green stuff might be the next step after we've figured out how to paint things and clip things and glue things together, and then green stuff might be the step after that. I would opt for hiding it in the base in some mud or grass or something. That would be what I'd do. Oh, it's not a real horse. He hasn't chopped off a hoof off a real horse, little miss. He wouldn't do that, would he? Silly sausage. No.
Silly Billy.
So what are you doing now?
Right, so now I've got out my blue, Night Sky Blue, Reaper Master Series HD paint that we had. And I'm just going to touch up where I've scrubbed and missed bits on the blue on these trench coats and blobbed over the edges, so bits of brown on the elbows like that bit there. And there we go, a little bit of black I've put on there when I was trying to get his radio bit in the fronts. Just a quick little once over, touching a couple of these parts.
Moxie says, I think the green stuff is about the 8th step for me. And he says, no, not a real horse. She knows that, really. She's just being silly. Asma says it's fun. It's like plasticine modelling clay. Super sticky though. Yes, I have had a play with it before. Got very frustrated and put it back in the cupboard.
I don't generally trifle with modelling clay and stuff should I require it. Green stuff, I've had a bit of a tinker, but I've found that it mostly slows down my creative process.
Is that what we're calling it now?
Yeah.
Can't do it equals slows down the creative process.
That's it, yeah.
You made that bear suit.
I did. And I enjoyed it, but it took a long time, didn't it?
Yeah, I think that's maybe our problem. Well, your problem, because my problem is I can't use it. But your problem is you don't really have a lot of time to do anything. So big projects or projects that maybe take a little bit more finesse or modelling and things like that. There's never any time, is there?
Yeah.
Never any time in the day. But that bear that you made was cool. You have to tell people what it is.
Okay, so for Blood Bowl, a well-known Games Workshop game of fantasy football, Blood Bowl, I have a goblin team, and I had a figure, which was actually a figure for Rumble Slam, which is another game manufactured by a completely different company. But it was a goblin, and he had a really cool characterful face, but it was miscast. So we ended up with a replacement part for the miscast one. And I had this figure in the bits box. So when I got my goblin team, I wanted to make a mascot figure, a loony, I believe he is called. He's like a team mascot, and he jumps on the field and he distracts your opposition by having like a rattle or something that he shakes in their face. And I thought, like, well, what would be really cool is if I had a team mascot. So basically, I sculpted out of green stuff a teddy bear mascot costume, complete with giant zipper and what have you, for my loony to wear. And then I painted him up in my team colours, and he takes the field with my goblin team whenever I play Blood Bowl.
Where is he at the shop?
He's at the shop in the cabinet.
Because that's where you Blood Bowl to.
Yeah. So my team are on display in the cabinet on the gaming floor at the shop. So if you wanted to have a look and you are in sunny Bridlington at any point, then you can see him in all his green stuff glory. I'm quite pleased with him as well. He turned out pretty good. One of these guys, for some reason, I didn't paint the back of his. Where is he? Didn't paint the back of his coat in between his legs. I know I can't find. Yeah, I know. Half a job. There he is. It's Sniper Guy. He didn't get his coat painted in between his legs. There we are. Right. That's him sorted. Pick that guy up I've just dropped. Has this guy got any bits that need touching up? Yeah, these pockets there. Right then. That's blue sorted. Blue. I just need to. Well, I can show these guys. So this guy needs brown on him. Look, I've got bits I haven't finished off all over the place.
Hydrate. Gotta do some hydrate.
Oh, I get some hydration going. Some old speckled hen down here.
What are you using now?
Yeah, so now I'm going to get a little bit of the flat earth and paint this guy's glove that I've missed. This is the problem when you're painting, say, Napoleonic line infantry, and you've got 30 figures the same. Painting them all in a batch like this works really well, because every figure's the same and they're all got rifles over their shoulders and you know that you're doing all the same kind of stuff. But these guys are all individually posed, and painting them in a batch like this isn't necessarily the easiest thing. Right, what colour can I use to paint these like bedroll things over their shoulders that's different enough from the other stuff? What is it? Oh yeah, that's good. So we'll use some Dirty Bone. Which is a Reaper. MSP paint. Dirty Bone. Use this for skeletons. It's a good base coat for your skeleton horde. About here. Smidge of water on there. Right. So, just going to paint these bedrolly bits in here around the top of their backpacks. And I would have just left them the necrotic flesh colour and then just put the wash over the top, but I've blobbed so many other colours over the top of them while I've been painting the rest of the figure that they would look a bit silly. So I'll just try and neatly get them in with this. I've got we're going to empty our loft soon. It's just reminded me we're going to empty our loft soon and sort some stuff. We've got loads of stuff in our loft that needs sorting out. But one of the things that I have in a box up in the loft is when Games Workshop released Apocalypse, the first set of Apocalypse rules for 40k. Oh, don't know. How long ago was that? 8. It's got to be knocking on for 15 plus years. They did a backpack set. So you've got the rules and all the templates and all the things, and then you got a limited edition backpack, which is a really cool bit of kind of memorabilia. And it's a brownie coloured, very similar to this, brownie coloured backpack that was an ideal size for fitting in rule books and a case of minis and what have you. And I've got that up in the loft, and it came with 2 different Velcro patches that went on the front of it. And one of them was loyalist, and one of them was for like a traitor guard faction. And no. Oh, blobbed on his helmet.
We should just call this the blob stream.
Yeah.
We should have a blob counter. How many times can you blob counter?
Yeah.
Blob, 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 blob.
So yeah, got that backpack somewhere upstairs, and I would like to find it, but it must be buried in the bottom of one of the boxes.
Moxie says, wow, that will be worth a few bob now, won't it? It's probably not in a very good condition, seeing as how it's been stuffed in the loft. You want to put it in a bag or anything like that, if we just chucked it up there.
What?
This backpack.
It's fine. No,
It's probably still got books in it.
yeah, if I can find it, I intend on using it to carry my stuff to work in. I know, but this one's like cool. It's cool. Yeah. No, if I remember correctly, it's big enough to fit a figure case in, so it'll be good for transporting my minis around. You're alright there.
I hear some funny noises. What's up? What's down here?
Games Workshop have done some really cool kind of merch over the years, and now they've not really got much going on at the moment. They've got like little accessories that they do with new releases. So at Kill Team, they've done you can get a promotional metal measuring tool, and which unfortunately we can't access, but we do have a couple of things to give away. Got some postcards and some card sleeves and stuff for. We're going to keep those for our in-store customers. Dog tags. I think you can have something. I think we've got a little box that's got some Kill Team dog tags in. They do some cool stuff every once in a while, but they haven't done anything else like those backpacks and stuff for a long time. They were pretty funky. I know that there are some licensed clothing ranges and whatever. You can get some Space Marine themed leggings for the ladies or the gents, should you feel that way. That's what you want to wear. So he doesn't need any because he's got a radio. So one guy's got a radio and one guy's got some flamer tanks. So they don't have these bedrolly bits on. So yeah, the guy with the radio has a backpack, so he can have a higher powered radio to reach across the battlefield. Two left, and then we'll get some washes on, I think.
So, I've got a question for you 3 people watching. So you know that we do Monday nights something from the Reaper sub box, and we do Tuesday nights painting something together, and we do Wednesday nights where he paints something on his hobby desk, and then Sunday we play games. Was there anything particular that anybody would like to see, or is that kind of thing okay for everyone? Is there any like, oh, I'd really like you to see you paint a dragon or something that's non-metal metal? Ha 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 ha. How funny.
Not funny.
I'd like to see more of Mrs. MLG paints.
No, nobody wants to see that. You had once. I was never doing it at all, so I think once a week, you know. Nobody wants to see me chump about how rubbish this is.
Everybody wants to see you.
No.
Pete says that that's really difficult to answer because there is just so much.
Well, you just start with one thing. And then we'll go, oh no, we're not doing that.
So when I did that guy, did I paint him all over with the sepia, or did I paint him all over with my Agrax mix?
Yeah, well, you've used both things, so I don't know what you were using.
Well, I think I used the Agrax mix on the flamer and then the sepia over everything else.
You definitely used the sepia because I went, oh, that's mine.
Maybe the odd kind of technique lesson every so often, says Wicked D.
You've seen Nathan paint, haven't you? You've seen his blob counter going up. What kind of technique? What kind of technique? Because most things are just... You've got to do it to learn it, haven't you, I suppose? But what were you thinking? Moxie says, I think the format you have is great. I look forward to watching every week. Aw, you're too kind.
Thank
Moxie.
you.
That's kind. That's nice, isn't it? Aw, we do appreciate you being here. I mean, if you four weren't here, then we'd just be talking to ourselves. What's up?
Thank you, Moxie. That's very kind of you to say so.
Try that. Are you gonna make us blush now, Moxie?
Yeah. I already am, because I'm like bright red.
Yeah, but you can't
Just-
see you. So you need to sort out that light.
Yeah, just different painting techniques. Oh, there we go. Just different painting techniques. So like wet blending one time and other things like that.
Oh, there you go, you see?
Yeah, wet blending.
There's some wet blending going on. You have to do like a dragon so you've got a nice big wing so you can see it
Yeah.
easily on the camera.
Well, we'll do a little bit of research and then we'll maybe try and have a go at something like that for you, Wicked Day.
But only occasionally because he wants these streams too. I think the problem with techniques is there's so many different ways to do stuff that it would just be how we do it rather than maybe a professional. Because a professional
Yeah.
would say something different, but it would just be this is how we do it and this is the result from how we do it. I think that would.
Yeah, I'll have to
You
get some.
can't, you can't do anything different than us, can you?
We'll have to do some practicing. Practice my wet
It's
blending.
going to be a fun game. Just look at it.
So, I'm going to get this wash on. Sepia wash onto all the guys, and then I think we shall call it a night for tonight because this will take a little while to dry before we can do anything else on them. So, I will show you the finished results on Monday's stream when we
You have to read it. It tells you what it is.
we'll be painting something else on Monday because we've got the ogre finished, barring his. Oh no, I said we were going to do his base, didn't I? I said we were going to.
You need to do the bases of those two dolls so you can do them for your trio and your duo. They're waiting for you.
Basing on Monday. That's what I said we were going to do, isn't it? So,
There
Scary.
you go, basing techniques.
Yeah, basing techniques on Monday. Wicked D. That is what's happening. So we're going to be basing the 3 miniatures that I've painted over the last couple of weeks on Monday night streams on Monday. So we'll show you how I do my bases. I'd forgotten all about that. Using the horror brush for my washing. Or one of the horror brushes, because I've realised that I've actually got two. They look very similar, and I thought it was just one brush, and I've been using two.
Really?
Yeah, I've got two horror brushes.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah, two horror brushes. I don't know how I've ended up with two brushes the same, actually. I'll show you.
You're gonna show us. Oh no! You're gonna show us mine.
Yeah. Whip them out. Where's little Miss gone?
Just being quiet so we don't realise she's still up.
So, not being too gentle or frugal with the ink wash here, just liberally applying it all over the mini because I know that it will dry and pool very much itself. So, a bit of dirty sepia wash over the whole mini just to give us a bit of well-needed shading. And then what we'll do is we'll do the metal after this. So I'll do the paint the metal in with some Vallejo gunmetal, and then I will give that a black wash over the top, and then just give it a very light highlight. Like I was going to give some of the other areas of this a very light highlight just to make them stand out a little over the top, and then they will be getting a varnish, and then they will be ready for deployment onto the Kill Team demo table.
Whoop whoop.
And hopefully our stock of the Kill Team compendium will arrive in enough time next week for me to actually have a read of the rules before Kill Team Day. And then we'll be able to potentially put some more Kill Teams on the table for people to try out.
Monty's got a question for us.
Hydration. This might be a stupid question. What glue do you use for basing? For instance, I want to base my Templars with a sandy type base. So what I would do in that situation is if you wanted to apply sand onto the base of this chap here, whose base is otherwise plain, then I'd literally get some PVA glue, the kind of stuff that you get from B&Q. Yeah, I think we do. Yeah. So, yeah. So typically, I'm not going to lie to you. So you can buy basing glue, right? You can buy basing glue, but it is just PVA glue. So if you've got some of the kids' craft glue in your cupboard, like PVA craft glue, then I would use that. And so put it in a little pot, thin it down a touch, not too much, but just so it's like a little bit more fluid than straight out of the bottle. And then paint that on your base. And then if you get sand, we haven't got it in here, have we?
No.
So we have some little containers that are a bit like this kind of size, about that kind of size, square, maybe about 3-4 inches square. And we've got a little container and it's got sand in. So once you've got sand on the flat portion of your base, around your figure's feet, you would just dunk it straight in the base and give him a waggle around so it would coat the top of the base with sand. Unfortunately, I haven't got any to hand to show you, but this is how I typically base a lot of figures, where they haven't got a flat tab. So if they've just got feet that glue onto a base like these guys have, like that. So they've just got, and they haven't got a plastic flat piece that their feet are on, and then you glue that onto a base. So if they're like this, so PVA glue just on the base around the feet, waggling them around in the sand, tap any excess off, and maybe if you wanted to run your finger around the edge and clean any excess off so you've got a smooth edge around the edge of your base, and that's it, job done. If you have a pre-moulded base, such as this ogre, where he's got a tab on the bottom of his base here, or have we got anything else on the table? But that kind of thing, where they've got like a tab that they're stood on, and then you glue that on top of the base. You need to build it up a little bit. So in that case, I use either the Citadel texture paint, and you build a couple of layers of that up so it masks it, or use a filler. So what I'm going to do with these guys on Monday, and I'll show you, is I'm going to use some ready mixed filler, the kind of stuff that you use for filling your holes in your walls, and then I'll build the base up and stipple a bit of texture into it, and that'll mask the edges of this base. So I've stuck these, so normally you'd use the base this way up, that side, and you'd stick the guy on there. As you can see, I've stuck him on there, and then I decided it was too high, so I turned the base upside down, stuck him into the dished side underneath, because they've got a flat edge around the outside, and then I'll use this as a guide while I fill the inside of the base up to make him look like he's not stood on a huge rock, because otherwise you can end up with some really kind of mountainous figures like this lady. So there's not really much I can do with her. So she's, I want her to be on a 1-inch round base. So there isn't. So I'm just going to end up having to build up the edges of her base, but she's going to be a bit higher than the standard figures, the rest of them, because most of them are on slightly shallower bases. So there we go. Hope that helps. Cool. Right, so we've got the wash applied on all these guys. Oh yeah, I was going to show you the horror brush as well. Yeah, 2 horror brushes, not that one. 2 horror brushes. One slightly worse than the other, but yeah, I didn't realise I've got 2. I must have had one as a horror brush and then used the other one for undercoating so much that it started splaying out as well. I like that. Horror brush alert. Cool. So, Green Stuff World brushes are excellent. Let me just finish by saying that. Green Stuff World brushes are excellent. This brush now is, this one's been in use for about a month, I think, and the previous one was just starting to curl over a little bit, so I clipped the end off, and you can see it's just got like a bit of a chisel point on. But I still use this one for base coating, and it's doing really well. So it's painted virtually every day for 4 months, I think, and this one's been going for about 6 weeks, painting every day, and they're absolutely fantastic. No reason to spend £15 on a paintbrush, because you can get excellent quality brushes for about £3. So if you need any help choosing, just ask one of the staff in the shop, or message us online and we'll point you in the direction of some excellent quality brushes. Such as these Silver Series brushes from Green Stuff World. They are excellent. Anyway, there we go. So please join us on our next stream, which will be Skyrim Sunday. Hopefully we can find our way out of the Soul Cairn and back to Tamriel proper. And I think we're going to call it a night. So Monday night we're going to do basing on our Subbox stream. Tuesday night we'll be on with painting orcs for Kill Team. And Wednesday night,
Probably still
possibly still orcs, possibly some terrain. So yeah, more than likely orcs. Thank you everybody for tuning in and spending your evening with us. Enjoy the rest of your night, but we're going to go and get a small person put to bed and wait for our washes to dry. Thank you everybody. We really appreciate you coming and spending your evening with us. It is. I always look at the screen and not at the camera. That's like, 5-6 months in. Should really know what I'm doing by now, shouldn't I? Thank you everybody. Take care. See you later.